I met Pamela on a Thursday night at one of those trivia bar nights my coworker had dragged me to. She was sitting at the next table with a group of friends, loudly debating whether penguins had knees. I leaned over and said, "They do. They're just hidden." She burst into laughter and called me a smartass. That was the first thing she ever said to me. 2 weeks later, we were officially dating. Pamela had this way of turning an ordinary Tuesday into something extraordinary. She was spontaneous, always planning last-minute getaways, brunches, and rooftop dinners. I, on the other hand, thrived on routine. I liked order while she thrived in chaos. But somehow, our differences blended perfectly, balancing each other out. After a year together, we moved in, and on our 3rd anniversary, I proposed. I had the ring hidden in my sock drawer for 2 months, waiting for the right moment. When I finally asked, she burst into tears, saying yes before I even finished my question. That was one of the happiest moments of my life. The wedding was set for June. We kept it small, just 70 guests, a lakeside ceremony, something relaxed and intimate. I handled the logistics, while Pamela picked out the flowers and playlists. It felt like we were building something solid, a life we both wanted. At least I thought so. Pamela's bachelorette weekend was organized by her best friend, Nicole. They rented a large cabin in Lakewood, about 3 hours away, with 10 of her closest friends. Nothing crazy, she promised, just wine, games, and gossip. She kissed me before leaving, her car packed with bags and friends, music blaring as they pulled away. I watched them disappear around the corner, the sound of their laughter echoing down the street. I didn't hear much from her that weekend. Just a couple of texts, a heart emoji, a group photo of the girls holding cocktails. It all seemed normal. Typical bachelorette fun. She returned that Sunday night, hugged me tightly in the kitchen, and whispered, "God, I miss your face." I believed her. The next day, I came home early from work. Pamela had already left to run some errands. That's when I saw the small black gift bag sitting on the dining table. No tag. I figured she'd left it by mistake. Out of habit, I opened it. At first, it seemed like typical bachelorette party junk. A plastic tiara, a pink sash with bride vibes only printed across it, a mini bottle of champagne. But then I found the note, scrawled on the back of a cocktail napkin in red marker. To the Queen of Wild Nights. The way you handled all 3? Legendary. I froze, reading that line over and over. 3 what? I tried to laugh it off. Nicole was dramatic, always turning the smallest things into epic stories. Maybe it was a joke, just her being over the top. But then I found the underwear, a pair of men's boxer briefs, folded and clearly not mine. They weren't new, either. My mind raced, trying to rationalize it. Maybe someone was messing around. A prank, a misplaced item, something innocent. But then I noticed a USB drive tucked beneath the tiara, a small sticker with a smiley face on it. I should have left it alone. Should have put it all back and waited for an explanation. But I didn't. I plugged it into my laptop. There was only one video on it. It opened with Pamela in the cabin's living room, the pink sash still on, a bottle in one hand, dancing wildly to loud music. She looked beautiful, glowing, completely lost in the moment. Then the camera shifted, catching a guy, a bartender maybe, in a black shirt with a towel over his shoulder. Pamela reached out, grabbed her by the collar, and pulled him into a hard kiss. Her friend screamed in the background, Nicole's voice the loudest, cheering them on. I skipped ahead. Now they were outside near a hot tub. 2 more guys, strangers to me, Mike and Tyler, I would later learn, were with her. Pamela sat on one of their laps, while the other poured champagne down her legs. She didn't stop them, didn't push them away. Everyone was laughing, toasting, encouraging. I skipped again. The final clip was just 20 seconds long. Pamela leading all 3 guys into a bedroom, giggling as she pulled the door closed behind her. Nicole's voice, caught on the audio, yelled, "Triple threat. Our girl's insane." The screen went black. I copied the video to a hidden folder on my cloud storage, then carefully placed the USB back in the bag, arranging everything exactly as I found it. 20 minutes later, Pamela walked in, carrying iced coffee and grocery bags. "Hey, babe," she said, dropping the bags onto the counter. "You okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired." That night, she curled up beside me on the couch like nothing had happened. She picked a documentary about volcanoes, something she thought I'd like. I didn't hear a word of it, my mind replaying that last 20-second clip over and over. Pamela giggling, disappearing into a room with 3 strangers. When she asked if I wanted dessert, I shook my head. She kissed my cheek, whispering, "You're quiet tonight." I just shrugged. Long day. She let it go, the way she always did when things felt uncomfortable. She hated awkward conversations. I barely slept that night, staring at the ceiling, letting it all sink in. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I acted normal, asked about the florist, confirmed the DJ, even pretended to care about cake samples. Meanwhile, she texted Nicole constantly, deleting most of the thread afterward, but not carefully enough. I caught one message on her lock screen while her phone charged. Blake said, "You bit his neck. You're insane." Nicole had written. I didn't need to read more. I already knew enough. The next morning, she was in the kitchen, humming as she cracked eggs into a pan. "Hey," she said, "can you call the hotel about early check-in for the honeymoon?" I nodded, trying to ignore the weight in my chest. She slid a plate toward me and kissed my forehead. "I love you, you know." I took a deep breath. "Yeah," I said, "I know." I ate my breakfast, showered, and left the apartment like it was any other Tuesday. But I didn't go to work. I drove 2 towns over to a small cabin I booked the night before under a fake name, paid for with a prepaid Visa card. No paper trail, no alerts. Before I hit the road, I started canceling everything. The venue, the catering, the flowers. One call at a time. I didn't give much explanation, just said the plans had changed. Some vendors asked questions, most didn't. I told them to send the cancellation terms by email and hung up. I left my old life behind without a second glance. I dismantled the wedding piece by piece. Started with the website. Click. Gone. The honeymoon was next. A single email to the travel agent. The shared registry. Locked and deleted. No trace. No loose ends. I packed a bag, got in my car, and drove 2 hours out of the city. The cabin was small. Just one room. A twin bed, a tiny fridge, and no TV. It felt right. I made a cup of coffee, sat on the porch, and let the wind and the trees replace the chaos in my head. That's when the calls started. Dozens of them, all from Pamela. I let them go to voicemail. At first, they were casual. "Hey, babe, you okay? You're not answering. Call me when you get this." Then they got more frantic. "Steve, seriously, where are you? I called your office, and they said you didn't come in." By the second day, they'd hit full panic. "Your stuff is gone. What is happening? Please tell me you're okay." I turned the phone off and shoved it into a drawer. Silence was better. By the end of that second day, the wedding was mostly undone. The venue kept a quarter of the deposit. The caterer was more understanding. The photographer asked if we still wanted engagement photos. I told her, not anymore. Pamela had no idea where I was, and that was the point. Her messages shifted from confused to desperate. "Hey, can you please just call me? I don't know what's going on. Can we talk? Please just tell me what's happening. You're scaring me." She still didn't know I had seen the video. Still thought this was salvageable. That afternoon, I sent 2 texts, one to her parents, one to mine. "The wedding is canceled. I'll explain later." Her mom tried to call immediately. I declined. Then Nicole started texting. "Steve, what the hell did you do?" Pamela's freaking out. A few minutes later, another one. "You need to talk to her. You're seriously blowing this out of proportion." But I wasn't reacting. I was erasing. I transferred my savings into a separate account. Gave my landlord my notice. The lease was in my name anyway. I told them Pamela had 30 days to vacate. If she didn't, they could evict her. The apartment had always felt more hers than mine anyway. Throw pillows, fridge magnets, pastel notes scribbled with grocery lists. Now it was just a shelf full of lies I used to believe in. The final move was a pre-scheduled email. It hit her inbox at midnight. Subject, for Pamela. Message, I saw the video. You with the 3 guys. You don't need to explain. It explained everything. I didn't leave because of what you did. I left because of who you are. The wedding is off. Please don't contact me again. I sent the same message to her parents, with the video attached. They deserve to know why the wedding was canceled. I didn't watch her read it, but I know when she did, because my phone lit up with missed calls at 12:07 a.m. Then Nicole's message came through. So you're really blowing everything up because of one night? I smiled a little. 10 minutes later, she called. I picked up. Wow, she said, her voice edged with disbelief. Didn't think you had it in you, Steve. I didn't, I replied, until you left that gift bag at my place. That's what did it. She paused. It wasn't meant for you. No, I said, it was a trophy. Pamela's highlight reel. Nicole scoffed. It was a bachelorette party, not a criminal trial. You're being dramatic. She was having fun. It was her last night before marriage. Blake was harmless. Mike and Tyler weren't even supposed to stay, but they did. Silence. I asked, did she regret it? Nicole's voice dropped, a hint of something like guilt creeping in. Not until you disappeared. I nodded to myself. That's what I thought. She snapped back, defensive now. So what now? You've blown up your engagement. Embarrass her in front of her family. Is that not enough for you? No, I said calmly. I want accountability. For what? She shot back. Pamela's a grown woman. She made her own choices. And you handed her the match. I hung up. There was nothing left to say. The next morning, everything started to crumble for Pamela. Her parents, furious and humiliated, pulled all financial support. No more help with her expenses. Her mother stopped answering her calls. Then came the friends. I had sent the video to 4 people I trusted. It spread fast. A few messaged me privately. Didn't know she was like that. Sorry, man. Others just quietly distanced themselves. Even Emma, one of her oldest friends, unfollowed her on everything. Said she couldn't co-sign that kind of betrayal. Pamela tried reaching out again. Her text changed, raw, desperate. Steve, please talk to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. I was drunk. I didn't even remember until later. Please, I love you. She called from a new number, left a voicemail sobbing. It wasn't real, Steve. It didn't mean anything. But it did. It meant 4 years wasted. It meant lies, wrapped in kisses and whispered in the dark. She moved out of the apartment a week later. Sent a message saying, I'm gone. I left your keys on the counter. That was the last direct contact I had from her. Nicole and Pamela had a public falling out. Nicole posted a not-so-subtle Instagram story. Funny how people love to blame you for their own decisions. Someone forwarded it to me. I didn't even react. Pamela left her job not long after. Word had gotten around the office. She went from planning a wedding and posting brunch shots to crashing on a cousin's couch, scrubbing her online presence clean. 3 months later, I signed a lease in a new city, smaller place. No memories in the walls. No one who knew my name. I didn't tell anyone where I was going, except my friend Alan. He made sure I wasn't on the hook for any shared contracts. Pamela tried to push through after I left. One night, I deleted the last of our shared memories. Photos from the last 4 years, trips, parties, selfies. All of it gone with a single click. That same night, Pamela texted, You destroyed me. Are you happy? I stared at the screen for a second, then hit delete. No reply. Because the truth is, I didn't destroy her. She destroyed herself. I just stepped aside and let it happen. These days, I don't think about Pamela much. When I do, it's like remembering a movie I almost liked but walked out of halfway through. Good opening, bad ending. Sometimes people show you who they are at the end. Sometimes they show you just in time.